What's up guys, and welcome back to On the Brick with another custom set review. As you can tell today, I have for you the Eagle 5 from Spaceballs. While Brickvault does make an extremely similarly looking model, their version actually has twice as many pieces as this one, and I will be looking at that one on its own in due time. For now, this version of the Eagle 5 comes from a guy known as Momateo79, I believe that's how his name is said. And before we go any further, I do just want to say that this particular version is made using non-LEGO bricks, something which I'm certain you probably didn't notice until I just said that. This model contains 647 pieces, and as far as I can tell is not minifig scale, but that doesn't make it any less impressive. The Eagle 5 was famously flown by Lone Star and his good friend Barf, and is based off of the 1986 Winnebago Chieftain 33. The designer of this model did make it 8 studs wide to match what was at the time the new size of the Speed Champion sets. The set is still pretty big for what it is. It is 11 inches long, just under 9 inches wide, and 4 inches tall. I may have gotten those measurements mixed up, but I'm just going off of what the guy has on his Rebrickable page. And this build was a lot of fun to put together. One of my good friends, the same guy who actually got me all that stuff for the bonus birthday video, sent me this as a gift last year, saying that I had to send it to him, and I've kind of forgotten to do that, so at some point I definitely will. As long as no one tells him, it's fine, okay? Okay, we're all gonna keep that a secret, okay? But like I said, this isn't quite minifig scale. Here's Dark Helmet next to it, which I'm realizing now isn't the best comparison, so instead here's a completely random minifigure, so you can get a bit of a better idea of just how big this is. You can fit figures inside, but there's not much room. We'll take a look at that soon. The front of this build does look really good, and one of the first things you'll notice is that I did not get any of the stickers or anything for this. I do have the instructions from Brickvault, which has the PDF for that, but I'm going to do those on Brickvault's build instead of this one. No reason in particular for that, except for, that secret that we're keeping. The only thing I don't really like about this is the windshield, but I've actually seen several models of the Eagle 5 do this double windscreen thing. One of my favorite parts about this build though is that you can actually open and close this door. It's really smooth and I just love that. I know that's probably a really weird thing to be excited over, but I just love the mechanism of this. The back of this build equally looks decent. I don't know, maybe adding like the stickers or printed tiles here might be better. And it's not that it looks bad, I think it just looks really plain. However, I do love the use of these light blue, trans light blue technically pieces to make it look like the engines, and yes, I know the one on the right is slightly off, I fix that later. And the other side of this build just looks the same without the door. You can actually open this up, like I said, you can take the roof off, it comes off very smoothly and this piece sticks together. It is very easy to do. And the inside, which we will take a more in-depth look at in just a second, is okay. This is one of the problems of it not being minifig scale, or at least not being bigger, is that a lot of things are really cramped in here, some things are left out, and ultimately it just doesn't look as good as I would like it to. Again, it's not bad, but that's also one of the biggest reasons I want to look at the Brickvault version. For instance, here is the front where the two characters sit, and there's really nothing going on there. Quick disclaimer, if you get this in the non-LEGO version, it does not come with the printed tile. I happen to have an extra one of those on hand, so I put it there. All 3 of these should be printed, but they also really don't have to be. It fits both characters if you want them to, it's also just really plain. And then behind that you have the door mechanism, which again is unironically my favorite part of this build for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why, I just love how this is done. It's a clever technique that runs very smoothly, and here it is with the arms fixed, showing you that it still works just fine. I don't actually know why the arm was off. Then there's this kitchen area, which I think is where we first see Barf. I'm not entirely certain. Again, it's pretty plain, but it is there. And across from that, we have 2 seats with a checkerboard. And finally, in the back, we have a toilet with a nice little prize inside. It's kind of weird that of all the details not included in this set, that one was. So, like I said, this interior isn't really bad. It is a good play scale interior. but it's just not the type of thing that I look for in the builds that I get. While I do prefer minifig scale sets, it's not necessarily something that I will stick to. So it's not fair of me to fault this. It is a nice design and one that I think plenty of people will enjoy. Also, I don't know how many people would want to see this, but here is the underside. As for the non-LEGO aspect of this build, there are 2 sections that I had some issues with, nothing too extreme, thankfully. The first, as you probably noticed, is this slope section here. Just this one. For some reason, this one likes to come off. And then the tips of the wings here are very delicate as well, because there is not really much stud connection on the inside of these. They'll hold on perfectly fine, they're not going to sag or fall off on their own, but if you accidentally knock them or hit them, they'll probably fall off. Overall though, I do think this is a really nice set. My friend got it for me for only like $35, which really isn't bad for the 600 some pieces that it is. I did of course buy the original instructions, I always do that with these non-LEGO builds and LEGO builds, and we'll link to them in the description down below. Also, I just want to thank my patrons a little earlier in today's video, as it's only really thanks to them that I can make these types of videos. Signing up for Patreon goes a long way towards helping me out, and I would appreciate it if you considered doing so, and then you can join the likes of people like Jonathan and Project Elements. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you think about it. In fact, what's your favorite quote from Spaceballs? Do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe even consider ringing that bell. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.